What's up, everybody? My name is Josh LaFleur from Late Start Piano. Today I'm going to be talking about why speed can be overrated. So if you're a brand new beginner piano player and you are looking at all these professional pianists or people on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and they are just flying up and down the piano 100 miles an hour, and it looks crazy, it looks like you can never obtain that. You can obtain that for one, but also speed should not be your main priority. That's kind of the message I want to convey. I want to relate to you in this video. Speed should not be your priority when you are brand new at the piano, and I'm going to be telling you why it's overrated at the same time. So first off, when I talk about fast, I'm thinking of pieces like the Flight of the Bumblebee. Unsuspero is really fast. What's another one? Any super fast piece like that. Unsuspero, Flight of the Bumblebee are two really good examples. They are just really fast. And La Campanella at times as well can be pretty fast. Those pieces are great and they are super impressive. But again, this video is about why it's kind of overrated. So first point is if you're brand new and you're looking at that, first of all, speed will come to you naturally. In order to play extremely fast like that, you need to have really, really good technique. And how do you get really good technique? You have to practice a lot. You have to practice the right things and you have to do it over and over again until you have that muscle memory locked down in your entire body, from your neck all the way down to your feet. It has to be extremely, extremely good technique-wise. And yes, playing the piano is a full body exercise. So if you did not know that before, now you know. So to get that speed, you have to have really good technique. And the only way you can get good technique is just putting in the time. So that's kind of point number one. Point number two is when you are practicing really fast or when you're trying to get up to that speed, when you are prioritizing that skill of being able to play really fast, a lot of times what happens is you start to neglect the musicality of the piece. And what happens really is it becomes very robotic. So if you think of one of those fast pieces I mentioned or any other fast piece that you can think of, even right now, if you were to practice that as a brand new piano player, first of all, it would take you months to even understand what notes you need to hit and to work up to that tempo, maybe even a year or more. And what's going to happen is you're going to be playing it very technically, very robotically. You're going to be missing out on the musicality of the piece. When you play really fast like that, it's very easy to neglect the musicality. It's easy to not look at the expression, the dynamic symbols, accents, things like that, because you're so focused on just being able to play the right notes. And when you are so focused on just being able to play the right notes, when the piece is too hard for you, too difficult, that's when you start to neglect on that musicality and the playing sounds really robotic. Yes, it'll be quick and it will be impressive speed-wise, but it won't really be musical. It won't have that sense of emotion that you're trying to convey in your playing. And which kind of leads me into the next point, is slower pieces can actually be more beautiful and more difficult than fast pieces. Slower pieces, you can actually take some time. You can really emphasize that emotional piece, like I said, the dynamics and the expressions of that piece. And you can kind of play around with it, use a little rubato even to kind of push and pull that sense of time. And personally, I know this is a personal preference, but I like slower pieces better. I think they sound nicer. I think they're much more beautiful. I think they are even funner to play because you can kind of take your time and just focus purely on the expression. And that's really what music's all about. We're not really here to play something as fast as humanly possible just to play it fast. Music is all about conveying some kind of emotion, some kind of thought that you have, some kind of personal situation. And that's where slower pieces can help you do that, and they can help you do that to the max. And another thing about slower pieces is they can actually be more difficult because with fast pieces, the main point is that muscle memory. So once you have the technique down, once you have that muscle memory down, the technique, and once you do it 300,000 times, and you finally have that movement built into your hands and in your fingers, you are pretty much done. You've learned that fast, difficult piece. But when you take a much slower piece, Think of something like Claire de Lune, right? Is a lot slower, but it's much more about the expression, about the rise and the fall of whatever it is that you're playing. It's about the volume of whatever it is that you're playing. Again, that vibrato, the pushing and pulling of time. So it takes a lot more work to get that down. And even slower pieces, it's really more of a never-ending battle because it can always be tweaked, right? You can always have a better crescendo. You can always have a better slowdown. You can have a better accent on a certain note. Things like that. They can always be improved volume-wise, expression-wise, musicality-wise. Things can always be improved, even if you have practiced it 300,000 times. With faster pieces, with more technically demanding pieces, once you get that muscle memory down, you're pretty much good to go. It's not like you can really improve it once you have it, the good phrasing, once you have it in time and you can play the right notes. But more musical pieces, more slower pieces are really never ending. They can always be improved. So in a way, slower pieces are even more difficult than those super fast pieces because of those reasons I just mentioned here today. And I like slower pieces personally. Again, that's more what I like to play. I like them better. I think they sound better. I want you to let me know what you think. Do you like fast pieces? Do you like slow pieces? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments. I also do have a free PDF, a free guide on my website, www.latestartpiano.com. In this free guide, it's going to give you 34 essential tips for the brand new beginner piano player to play the way you always wanted to. We're going to start out with your mindset and approach to the piano, as far as your positioning in relation to the piano, bench height, how far you should be sitting away from it, things like that. Then we're going to go into practice strategies. Then we're going into music theory. And at the end, we'll teach you your very first song. Again, to get that, that's on my website, www.latestartpiano.com. Click on the big bright purple button on that page, and you'll have instant access to that guide. In addition, if you do want to take it a step further, I am offering piano lessons right now via Zoom. If you're interested in that, send me an email, latestartpiano@gmail.com, and we'll set up a day and a time that works best for you. Happy practicing. My name is Josh with Late Start Piano.